Drilling down into the district's economic and food access disparities, we see that the highest concentrations of poverty are in wards east of the river. This is the area over there to the right of the screen where you see a lot of the dark purple areas. In these sections, you can also see fewer orange circles indicating full-service grocery stores. In 2 of the wards, which are 7 and 8, with the highest concentrations of poverty, there are only 3 full-service grocery stores. These wards have the highest rate of obesity, diabetes, and other diet-related chronic diseases in the district. All right, there we have Mayor Bowser's leadership on food policy. You can see a picture of me in the background and a little tweet. We do a lot with social media. And just to give you a little glimpse of Mayor Bowser's leadership, Mayor Bowser's leadership has been crucial in enacting key food policy reforms at the local and national level. It was under her leadership that the DC Food Policy Council was created as a mechanism for enhancing the great work of local advocates within the food system. Also, as co-chair of the Food Policy Task Force at the U.S. Conference of Mayors, Mayor Bowser leads mayors across the country in examining emerging food policy issues. 2 of the key highlights would be signing the Milan Urban Food Pact and amplifying the international agreement to the conference. And urging Congress to protect SNAP in the Farm Bill. This has been an ongoing process as Congress currently weighs harsh work requirements that could potentially result in the loss of food assistance benefits for thousands of people in the program. Mayor Bowser's urgency and passion for food issues propel the district as a leader in urban food policy, and her support, as well as the support of policymakers and the DC Council, have been key into the success of the DC Food Policy Council. We also champion food waste reduction, global food, good food local procurement, and grocery access and healthy food financing. Okay, just to chat a little bit about the DC Food Policy Council. It was established in 2015, so not that long ago, a very well-written piece of legislation. The structure of the Food Policy Council is a food policy director, which is appointed by the mayor and housed within the Office of Planning. We have 12 mayoral appointed community members, voting members, that is, and then we have 8 non-voting city government members. We hold about 6 public meetings per year and many, many more smaller meetings amongst appointed community members. So local advocates recognize that many different communities and agencies have health disparities in the District of Columbia for many years. The DC Food Policy Council's goal is to bring these parties together in one place to collaborate on improving food access, equity, and economy for the entire district. All right, so the DC Food Policy Council's priorities and vision is food equity and access. These are the food deserts and the swamps that we were previously talking about. Sustainable food procurement of locally grown food. We have a ton of local farms. We want to promote them. We want to make sure people recognize them and use them. Urban agriculture. There's a ton of land plots in the district that we're looking to revive and do community gardens and urban agriculture. Local food business and labor development. Health and nutrition and food system education task force. So create a just, healthy, equitable, and sustainable food system for all by engaging, empowering, and informing DC residents and affecting positive policy change. So pretty much, we believe food should be a right, not a privilege. Imagine that. Okay, so a little bit of our innovative engagement and policy change and how it all works. We use the working groups to conduct research, engage stakeholders, and brainstorm how to approach policy issues. We inform the community about upcoming policies and opportunities to get involved through easily accessible community action guides. One key group we engage is the Community Advocate Program, organized by a local nonprofit called DC Greens. The community advocates are individuals who have lived experiences in food security or difficulty accessing healthy food, who are paid and work within the communities to amplify key concerns to the DC Food Policy Council. As mentioned previously, we host meetings every other month to engage the community and highlight the work of different initiatives within the community. And then finally, the food policy director and their staff work to integrate and evaluate policies at the district level. They conduct research and analysis to inform and support the mayor, council, and the DC Food Policy Council members. That was that slide that I forgot to go to. So should I do that all over again? No, we'll skip it. Okay, so promoting sustainable nutrition and diets. Our legislative and policy successes for promoting sustainable nutrition and diets include Grocery Store Development Program, which created a financial assistance to grocery stores in targeted areas with grocery ambassadors to help navigate the program. We have the Healthy Food Retail Program, which created financial assistance to corner stores. The Feed DC Act, supermarket tax credit incentives, financial assistance to open up and renovate large grocery stores in high poverty areas like Wards 7 and 8 that we just discussed. The Healthy Schools Act, which I'm very proud of, established nutritional standards for school meals, healthy vending requirements, and created farm-to-school programs. We have the Healthy Tots Act and the Save the Good Food Act, as well as the Urban Farming Act. Okay, skip that one. Yep, hold on. So yes, the district has also seen an increase in programs and initiatives related to promoting sustainable nutrition and diets, including Produce Plus, which gives residents who participate in government assistance programs checks to use for produce at farmers markets throughout the city. Produce RX, which is pretty much a preventative treatment option by prescribing fruits and vegetable prescriptions to redeem at farmers markets. We have Joyful Markets, which was launched by Mayor Bowser. This program connects elementary school students and their families to pop up, no-cost farmers markets and fresh produce at their schools. We have Urban Farms and Education, Workforce Development, Kitchen Incubator and Funding, DC Food Rescue, which is one of my favorite. I often describe it as the Uber of food waste. It's all volunteer-based. They pretty much pick up food and deliver right where it needs to go to mouths to feed them. And then we have the Diabetes Committee as well. With all the food policies and programs across the district, it's important for us to continuously evaluate and analyze how effective those programs and policies are in addressing disparities in the district. The DC Food Policy Council evaluates food programs and policies in several key ways. Program impact and participation analysis, mapping and spatial analysis, resident insight and engagement, local policy alignment and best practice review, and annual reporting and metrics. And this little guy that you see on the right is just an analysis and insight that we give to our stakeholders across the district. So some of our key takeaways here is plug into planning. The location of the DC Food Policy Council and the Office of Planning has allowed system-wide change and integration across agencies within the programs. We found that it has been critical to plug into planning during the beginning of our time as a council. The Office of Planning connects food policy issues with other important citywide issues, including transportation, housing, economic development, and resilience, and can then integrate food policy throughout citywide strategic plans. We also like to identify the champions. My time's up, I'm almost done. Listen to community needs, prioritize key focus areas, and embrace partnership. And then looking forward, promote findings from food economy study, conduct food system assessment, implement good food purchasing agreement and government procurement, create regional food hubs, incorporate food resilience into planning, enhance mapping and data tracking processes. So that is it for me. Thank you very much.
Important, because you are the only chef in this panel and maybe in the program, is what inspired you to be involved in the food movement?
Sure. Well, it's actually a program with these. Well, I've always been into food, obviously, and but what kind of set me over was the Chef Action Network. That's a James Beard Foundation program, which invites chefs at boot camp for a long weekend and really allows them, really inspires to let them know that they have a voice within their community. And that's kind of where it totally made sense to me. As a chef, I'm very close to farmers. We receive food, we store food, then we prepare food, then we store it again, then we cook it, we serve it, people eat it. So we have this really, really great relationship with food. So for me, we're very much advocates for a better food system and improving the farm bill. And I encourage not only chefs, but farmers and everybody in the industry. And you don't even have to be in the industry, just the love of food to get involved. And that's why I got involved.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yep.
Anyone who eats? Okay, great. And I was so excited for the next speaker. I was out of order because the next speaker is Barbara Turk, and she works in the mayor's office in New York City. And I'd like to present Barbara.
Thank you, Lisa. Good afternoon, everyone. So I am here to talk. I want to say in advance, a few people at least, have come up to me and said, I hear you're doing all these great things in New York, and I'm not going to talk about each and every one of them. I was counting on Dr. Branca and on Spike Mendelson to kind of lay out some of the categories of projects that cities are working on and some of the specifics, and if I were to do it again, you would see a lot of the same things. So what I wanted to do is actually share with you some quite specific reflections that I have had after 5 years in my current position as the Director of Food Policy in New York City. I work for the